Hey everyone, this is Beth from Art by Bedell, and I am back with another prompt for Junk Journal January. And on this 27th day of January, we have earth tones. This is the page that I have in my journal that I want to use for this. It is made from clamp paper, like what you see on my desk. I take this and use it for journal pages. And I thought those were perfect earth tone colors. Now, I also thought I want to put a jar with some fireflies or dragonflies. Mine are dragonflies today. And I have this freebie from Luise Henizl that was for December Ember, and it is a canning jar. And I printed this off onto a piece of vellum that was already printed with these gold dragonflies. So I'm going to go and cut all of this out. I have all my pieces cut out and they're inked up along the edges, and now it's time to assemble this. So I want to do a little bit of background on here before I add my jar of butterflies. I have printed out the freebie from Luise on cardstock and on the vellum, cut them both out so that I had, when I laid this down, I didn't want to see the background here. So I cut them both out that way. But I have chosen some different papers here. I have some book paper, some packaging, I have some cleanup paper, and I want to do a little collage down here in this corner. So I think the first piece I will put on is going to be this piece of book paper, and it's just what I tore off the edge, and we will apply that with a glue stick. I get it to go all the way to the top of my page. And let's see, what order do I want these in? I want that behind. I want this behind. So it'll be somewhat like that. There, that creates our collage, and it also gives us something for our jar to sit on, like so. So for the jar, I'm going to apply just a little bit of my art glitter glue along the outside edge of the whole jar to attach my vellum. And then I'll take my vellum and very carefully put it in place. And there's our canning jar. Remember the days, guys, when we would go out and catch fireflies and then put them in a jar? Pure torture for the poor little critters, I'm afraid. Okay, so there's my jar, and it's going to go about there. I want to tie some string around my jar, and I have this jute that is not very wide. So I'll wrap that a couple of times, I think, around my jar lid, and then bring it over. See if I can get that tighter. And tie it in a little knot here without buckling our paper. There we go, that works. And then with Luise's freebie came a little bow that I could just glue on the edge of that, like here. Maybe, maybe not. I think I'll not use that. What else do we have? The leaves. So for the leaves, I have cut them out of cardstock and inked up around the edges with my vintage photo. And I'm going to assemble them something like this around the top of the jar. Now we do have what she had used as a moon. We could also add that up there for a little more color. I believe we're kind of losing a lot of our paper here. I think I'll go without the moon. And we'll just do something like that with our leaves. So I'll get those glued down next. And then I believe I'm free to, at this point, add my jar. The moon would have been nice inside the jar. Caught the moon in the jar. My vellum's stuck already. I'm pretty sure that it would be. Yeah. So how can we accomplish that? We could accomplish that making a slit in the back very carefully, not to cut through our vellum on the front. And then sliding our moon in, if we can. There we go. Then if we can maneuver it back in place to hide our slit. The easiest way to do this, guys, is to not forget it in the first place. Here we go. Our moon is in our jar. So now we've caught the dragonflies and the moon. Now we can glue our jar down. Now over on this side, I have this number 8, but I don't want to use it as a number 8. I want to use it as a layer for my wing word. My wing word, just like that, because the colors go so nicely. And I'll put that there, but do I want something more under it? Let's see. No, I think that'll be good. There is our prompt with earth tones, and we have some dragonflies in a jar. The moon is caught in the jar. That is pretty cool. So I'm going to go stitch around the outside edge of this page. Okay, so I decided that I didn't have quite enough texture on my page. So not only did I stitch around the outside of my whole page, but I stitched around my little wings label, and I stitched the main veins in my leaves. So I'm going to cut off these threads. They're all a little too long. I like loose threads, but I also like controlled loose threads. Yeah, that added more texture for me, and as much as I love texture, I really needed to make sure there was enough on this page also. So the next page that was in my journal, so here's my signature, and this page was in here like this. And then the next page to it was this piece of craft paper, like that. So I thought I would make it match somewhat over here with my dragonflies. So what I did for this was, I don't know if you can see that or not, but I have stamped. I'll show you what I did because I need to do it to the other side also. I have this big dragonfly stamp, and it is by Northwoods, and I don't think Northwoods puts a number on their stamp, but anyhow, make sure I get the side that I want to do, which is this side here. I'm going to add some Versamark ink to the whole stamp like this. Now this paper, this page, this little page, is going to be my thought for the day and my gratitude. So I don't want to put anything on here that's going to hinder me writing on it. Embossing would make it quite hard to write on. But doing this with a Versamark watermark pad, we have our design on there. You can't really see it, but I have some Pearl X micro pearl, and I had a cotton ball. There it is. I'm going to take my cotton ball, dip it in my Pearl X powder, shake a little bit of it off, and just go around the whole image that I just stamped. And this Pearl X is going to stick to the Versamark pad, and then it's going to make it glimmer. So they will look like dragonflies glowing, just like that. So there's our dragonfly page. Now I need to put gratitude on one side and thought for the day on the other. And I also have my number 27. And I have some vellum leaves that I had cut out. So let's see what we can add on here with saving room for our journaling too. So there's gratitude and thought for the day. I'm gonna have to back these with something. I have a piece of this, and I think we can get them both on there, and then I'll just tear them. So on this side, let's put it on our signature so we can see what we're looking at. And this can depend where I put this. when I glue my signature together, but I'll probably have it down here. So I have my thought for the day, and then let's add a couple of the vellum leaves to this. Maybe right along the side like this. And I think that's enough. Let's put the smaller one on top like that. There. That certainly makes it match that page back there. So I'll add some glue to my vellum leaves and to my thought for the day. Then we'll turn it over. We have the gratitude, a couple more vellum leaves. Put that one right in the corner. It's pretty cool. These vellum leaves have the dragonflies on them like that. Okay, press that down. And do we have another? We do. We have right here. It's a smaller one. Vellum wants to curl up on us, but that will be, it'll settle down. And then let's put our gratitude right here in the corner. There we go. Thought for the day and gratitude. Let's put this in our signature, and that's how it's going to look. All right, so where do we put our day? Okay, so I've decided that my number is going to go right down here in this bottom right hand corner, and it will be on the moon, just like that. And now our page is complete. Prompt is earth tones. I have the colors, I have the thought for the day, the gratitude, the date, and we are good to go. Thanks guys for joining me for another Junk Journal January day. You have a wonderful day, and we shall see you tomorrow for 28, which is antique. Bye now.